I didn't even know what I wanted to talk about. I just know I wanted to talk about some. The first thing that came to my mind was like I I had this thought a while back when I was in the car, and that's low key when I get my best, or not even best ideas, but that's when I talk to myself the most. It's just like always in the car on the way to like work or something, or just like some chill like that. But the first thought that came to my mind was that it's hard to bulk, but I don't even give a shit about talking about that now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. The topic came to me, and I just like don't even give a shit about it. I don't know. I'm meeting with my pastor tomorrow. I found this new church, and I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be really good. I'm actually very excited because I used to go to a church. What's it called? Back where I used to live, and it was really good. It was so good. And this church that I'm going to now is very similar. Very similar. It's all connected through 9 marks, if you know what that is. And that is, if you don't know, where based churches come from. No, that's not where they come from, but that's just how they're connected. Right now I wish I was talking to someone and not just like to myself. I don't know. It's like, me myself, I've always been more of a listening type of person. And I think, I don't even know why. Um, and what I've really noticed is after I go out to lunch, like or before I go out to lunch, I'm very talkative, I'm very energetic, I'm almost euphoric. But then after I eat, I like all the conversations that people are having, I just like start listening. Cause it's like all the blood rushes to my stomach, and so instead of my brain thinking like, oh, I want to say this, I want to say that, blah blah blah, or just like thinking, it's just like everything goes to my stomach, and it's just like, it's like, we gotta. I mean, I think that's why I have such a high metabolism. It's just because it's like when I eat, my body just goes on full alert and just like, I don't know. Even my body doesn't even like multitasking. It's like my body doesn't even like to multitask to the point where it's like can't do automated functions well at the same time. I mean, thank God for my body, but uh I'm saying in the sense of where it's like, okay, yeah, my heart's pumping still and like everything's working, but then like, when things have to go internal, everything goes internal. But when things, when nothing's going on internal, everything just goes external. Which not even external, I guess my brain. Cuz I guess that's me, right? My brain is me. Or am I my soul? I had this one conversation with some of my friends that was like, is the soul separate from the brain? And I would say um I actually have no idea. It doesn't even matter. Here's a thought, actually. Hey, you want to know something actually crazy? Alright, let's go from 0 to 100 real quick. When there was a period of time when I was at college, and um, I was, what's it called? Just like going on dates with this girl, and this is just me personally, but when I've never had a girlfriend. Now, I don't know why I've never had a girlfriend, but I don't know why when it comes to girls, when it comes to people or like relationships, at least with girls, I don't know. And it's a girl that I like, I get attached very quickly. Very, very quickly. It's raining again. But I get attached very quickly. Um, and so, with this girl, I don't know, I was wondering, it's like, do I like this girl? And it's like, blah, blah, blah. And I was almost like trying to find reasons why not to like her because she was just so great, right? And so, like, I'm just like going through all this in my head. I'm just like, It's like this girl's so nice, and I just got attached very quickly, very very quickly. Um, and I don't know if this was just like a thing where I don't know. She told me she was a bad texter, and it's so hard where it's like I genuinely believed her, but it's so hard to hear that a person is a bad texter in today's time because that just makes you think like, oh, they're talking to other guys. Because you look at social media and that's all people say. It's like, oh, if their full attention isn't you, then they're talking to other guys. And it's just like I'm at the stage of my life where I don't know if that's true yet. I don't know. This girl didn't seem like she wasn't like that, or this girl didn't seem like she was like that. But I don't know. I'm inexperienced, so I don't know. But anyway, I was just like, I was going through the motions with this girl, and I really liked her. Um, but like I would text her and like I would try to make plans and shit like that, and she would just like take hours to respond. And not even out like a day. She would take a full like day to respond. And it's like I liked her so much where it's like I don't know, I had like just like anxious attachment where like if she wasn't texting me, like I don't know. Things felt new. And so I went on a couple days with this girl and everything was going well. But then when she was taking so long to reply to me, I was like, she's talking to other guys. Like, I'm just like, like I would try as best as possible to just keep it on my mind. Like I'd go work out. I'd like make food, I'd talk with friends and everything. But I really liked this girl to the point where it's like I cared about what she thought about me. And I wanted to hang out again as soon as possible. Um, and so like when she didn't reply to me, I'm just like, and like honestly, like I'm not even a big texter, but like I just wanted to text her just to like make plans or like get the ball rolling or something like that. I mean, the ball was already rolling, but I just like, I don't know, I liked the girl and I wanted to talk to her. Um, but what happened was like I would go through just like a series of just like every time she didn't text back or would take a full day of texting back in those intervals of time between me, like between when I send a message and she sent a message, I would just like get so not really, I guess emotional is the right word. I would get so like distraught, I would feel bad, I'm like, dang, like I would just become a little depressed because I'm like, dang, like I wish she would text me back, blah blah, like and then like almost jealous, like my brain would just make up bad scenarios, to fill in the gaps, and then it would almost turn into a thing where it's like these are reasons why she's not texting me back, and these are also reasons why she's not like why she doesn't like me. But then like what's the craziest part about it all is like when I would come to a decision, I would come to like this was insane where it almost felt like I felt like I was like, is she spying on me? But like I would come to a decision, I would talk about it with my friends. I'd be like, like the blah blah blah. She's not very good with communication and this and that, and there's been like a little bit of like, that was really it. There's just been these communication problems and it's been hard and blah blah blah. And my friends are like, bro, like I don't know, like obviously they want what's best for me, and so they're just like, I think you should just try and move on or like find a different person or whatever. Or then like or sometimes I would even talk to a person like, yeah, it's going well, but here's what, like I would explain what's happened and they'd be, oh yeah, dude, you're cooked. Like, nah, she doesn't like you. I'm sorry. Like I've been there and I'm sorry she doesn't like you. And then I'd be like, ah, fuck, dude. Like I really like this girl. But then right when I came to the decision, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna text her like, it was really nice getting to know you, but like I just like don't really want to do this anymore. And so, but I would come to that decision, and then right after that, like a split second after that, she would text back, and she'd be like, "Oh, sorry, like I was doing blah 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 blah," and I'd be like, "What?" And then this would happen multiple times. Like I would going to the gym, I'd be on the phone with like, a friend from like back home or some that like I'm really close with, and or just like whatever, and I'd just like talk about the situation, and then they'd be like, yeah, I like, they'd be like, yeah, I think you should end things. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna end things. And then she would text back, right? And it was just like, it got to the point where I'm like, is this girl literally spying on me? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And so it just got in my head, bro. It just got in my head. But, and from that, it just kept me on the hook, right? I don't know if she meant to keep me on the hook or what. To keep things interesting, I don't know. I hated it. I hated it so much. I'm just more of a direct person. And she even told me, like, she was like, you know, I really appreciate, like, you for being direct and, like, keeping things clear. And I'm like, yeah, well, anyway. Um, and she just, like, I don't know, she just kept me on the hook, bro. And it would just send me into, like, these, like, ups and downs of, like, emotional unregulation. And it would just, like, mess with me, dude. And I hated it. Because, like, I like this girl so much. And so it would just get me almost, like, even more attached to her. I don't know. They're just a weird psychology, right? Um, but, like, there was a point where, like, things just, like, I don't know, too many things, like, weren't going in my favor. And with all this emotional unregulation, there was a point where I was like, I don't know, I just got so existential. And this was the worst it's ever gotten. But I was genuinely, like, I was, like, feeling like stranger level, like, if you know the book The Stranger, like, the stranger level existentialism, where, like, I got to a point where I was like, and this was a little bit, and I really tried to get out of this book because I knew this wasn't real, but it was just, like, rough. But I was like, there is no point to anything at all. Like, and I would just say that to I'd be, like, everywhere I'm driving, wherever, like, like, I just got in these, like, tiny micro spasms of just, like, existentialism and depression, where it's just, like, I would just be like, there's no point to anything at all, to nothing, not a single point to anything. Everything is for nothing, you know. And this didn't help at the same time too. But I was also reading Ecclesiastes, or, like, I just read all of Ecclesiastes beforehand, and so it was just like, but it was more of like, like, there's just, like, nothing matters at all. And to the point where I was contemplating, I was like, you know, like I'm gonna, like, I wonder what it'd be like to, like, murder someone, you know. That sounds batshit crazy, but I was, like, in the point where I was like, you know, it's like I'm just like, there's no point to anything, you know. It's like, there's no point to my life, there's no point to anything. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm like, and it wasn't like, suicide was never an option, because, you know, even if I thought that there was no point to anything, I still wanted to live, right? But I was just, like, thinking to myself, I was like, there's just, I don't know, I don't know, I was just got in this such a state of emotional unregulation or dysregulation, whatever the word is, where I just, like, was thinking, just like, you know, it's like, maybe I should just, like, I wonder what it'd be like to just, like, murder someone. And I was thinking, like, well, obviously I wouldn't want to murder, you know, a good person. And so I was genuinely just, like, thinking, like, it's like, you know what, like, I'm just gonna, like, if things get to a point, I'm just gonna go on a killing spree of, like, child pedophiles. I'd be like, because, okay, here's how that ropes in. So in my area, or at the place where I was living at the time, there was this guy, if you know, some places where you live, they do, like, mugshot social media accounts. And so this guy just got mugshotted for child pedophilia, selling, distributing it, or just, like, watching it, or just, like, whatever. I don't know. I know it's all, like, it's kind of a broad umbrella of just, like, child bad stuff, of just, like, minors and everything. Like, it's just kind of all covered on one umbrella, but it's all just, like, really bad. And so I was just like, honestly, like, these people who are hurting society, I'm already thinking like, okay, there's no point to society. There's no point. I was like, there's no point to good behavior. There's no point to bad behavior. Everything. I just got like in a absurdist mindset where like nothing matters. Nothing matters. Like I could crash my car right now, it wouldn't matter. Like in the long run, nothing matters. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna like. It was fucked up. I was just like, I'm just gonna start like murdering people. Like I'm just gonna start like killing people. And I'm like, well, I don't want to kill like someone good. And I'm like, well, here are all these like ugly child molesting pedophiles. It's like, I wonder how it'd be like if I had to kill anyone, it would be them, right? Because like you already hear on like these stories of like people. There are people who genuinely already do that. I mean, people. These child molesters go to prison. People like just take them out. Because it's like they are the worst on planet Earth. I mean, they genuinely are. And for all we know, it's just like, it's just this whole ring of like, I mean, in my mind, I was just like, okay, nothing matters in this world, but why are these, even at the point where I was at, I was just like, why are people even doing anything with kids? With kids. I'm just like, there was no point. Like in the mindset I was in, I was like, evil, good, bad, it all doesn't matter. But this was disgusting. I still found this like absolutely disgusting. And I was just like, my life has no meaning. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's whatever. Nothing matters. My life is pretty much over. I don't give a shit about myself. I could just murder someone and then kill myself, and it just wouldn't matter. Nothing matters. But I was just thinking, it's like, what if I just became a serial killer and murdered child pedophiles? So it was. Oh, what up?
You're recording.
I'm just like talking to myself right here. What a funny time to come in. But yeah, that was my mindset. I was just like, what? I'm just like, it just all doesn't matter. Yo, what's going on?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, what are you doing? What?
Nothing.
Oh, you're just chilling?
Yeah.
All right.
What kind of music?
Oh, okay. Hopefully you don't think I'm a serial killer now. Yeah, what a bad time to hop in. That's literally the worst time, but that's funny. That's funny. Hey, someone clip that. But, yeah, without context, that probably sounds horrible. But yeah, that was where my mindset was at. And so I'm just like, oh no, it was just a dark time. And that was just the danger of it. Like, I don't know why, but luckily I got out of that. I don't know. Those things like that. I'm a positive person, and so like even getting in like what's it called? A distraught slash existential mindset for a while. I'm like, you know what? Probably in a week or two it'll pass. This lasted a lot longer, but it still passed. It's just like, I don't know. I just kept moving forward. That's really what you just gotta do in life. Because it's like you'll go through crazy periods like that, or you'll just like have insane thoughts where just like intrusive thoughts really get louder. And so, I was really contemplating that, but I don't know. It got worse before it got better, because I was just like still talking to the girl, and then like, we'd have a good date, and then we just wouldn't talk after. I don't know. But it was whatever. And like, I still like the girl, but I don't even know. She like, I did lose a little bit of attraction for her because I went to a Bible study, right? And then after the Bible study, we went to the same Bible study. After the Bible study, um, what's it called? She came up to me. At that point, I was like, we hadn't even talked about like talk things over. I mean, we had deep conversation in the past, and that was the thing that really messed with me. It's like we like after a date or something, like we would have like a deep conversation. Like she shared her testimony with me and stuff like that, and I shared mine with hers. Um, we just had like just deep talks, and it was really good. But then right after the date, I don't know. I guess she was just more of an in person, which I am too. But it's just like a thing where it's like I'm trying to meet in person, and it's just like she just wasn't really acknowledging. I don't know. It was a weird thing. It was a weird thing. Um, but whatever. Um, but then after the Bible study, she came up to me like, "Hey, can we talk, Rex?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we can talk." And then she essentially told me, I don't know. She just gave me. She was like, the entire time we were talking, she was just like really. Seemed like she was really nervous. I don't know. I was kind of felt a little bad, but I was just like low cortisol. I didn't really care about our talk because I was like, okay, I like this person and like nothing's gonna happen with this. I don't know. I wasn't really caring, so like I was just like chilling, just like kind of just sitting there listening. I'm a tall person, and so I was just like kind of like standing. It was weird. I'm a tall person, and so I was just like leaning back, and she was just like talking at me, and she was pretty short, and I just kind of felt a sense of just like pride, and I was just like, in my head, I was like, okay, whatever. And she was like, I felt bad because she was like stumbling, and she seemed really nervous about it all, and it was good for her because she really had like the courage to come up and talk to me about everything, and like I was thinking about it, but I was like, whatever, like we're done anyway. But she came up and talked to me, and I was like, okay. Um, but like she just started stumbling, and then I was like, it's weird. It's like I felt like I held her on a pedestal almost. Um, and like seeing her in a lower position made me kind of a little less attracted to her. But it was also like it wasn't even really that. It was more the fact where it's like I knew things was over, so I just stopped caring, and I just didn't really care about this in the moment. Because and she was just like, it's like, which this was just like retarded in my mind, but it was like, oh, like, it's like, I think here's the thing. I think we were actually kind of on the same page, but almost a little too on the same page. Like we were both thinking too much about each other. And she was like, like I shouldn't be thinking about this when like I'm really busy with like homework and blah blah and accounting. And I'm like, that's one class. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me, but I was like, whatever. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just a chud. But it was chill because like that was at a point where it's like I kind of already got better and I kind of already got over it all. So it was whatever. But I mean, and then before I left, before I dropped down and everything, like I started in the grocery store one last time. It's like one of those moments where like you think you've gotten over someone and you have, but then you see him again and you're like, you know, it would never be and it never could be, but it's just like you still wish, you still wish, in your mind you tell everyone that yeah, it's over, I'm over her, yeah, we ended things on a good note, and we did, and blah blah blah, and then you just see her one last time and you're just like, damn, like even though like everything's done, like if you still want to go on a date or whatever, I'd just drop everything in that moment. But I mean that's the thing, like, and one of the things was she was a not very trusting person, and it seemed like she had a little bit of trauma from people, what's it called, taking advantage of the trust, and so then that's why she's not a very trusting person. And then she also had a little bit of trauma from other stuff, but Yeah, I don't know. Stuff like that. I don't know, bro. But that's the thing. I just like, and I don't know if it's just like everyone. It's cause you like, you're trying to figure out something emotionally with a girl that you really like, and then you just go to anyone for answers. I was going online. I was going to my friends who just like were more experienced and everything, and it's just like different answers everywhere. Um, and honestly, not even just different answers, but just bad answers, or maybe just the stuff I didn't want to hear, or stuff where it's like not, or kind of was bad answers in the sense where it's like I don't know, stuff where like it's almost like you go to people for answers and like they think of the worst possible situation for you, and that you don't want to hear that because you're just like, well, I've been thinking about the worst case scenario, of like she's talking to other guys, or she just doesn't like me or stuff like that. But like then people tell it to you, and then what, you go on like Reddit or something, or like whatever, um or like you can just chat GPT, and it's just like I don't know, nothing just makes sense. I don't know. I don't know. I want a girl, but then there's just moments like I get like to these points in my life where like in my life right now there is just no opportunity, or it's just like sometimes I think about like people who are friends with girls, right? Um and I am friends with girls, but the thing is either one, my third party places that I go to every day, I don't know girls there, or there are no girls there. There's not or there are no girls there. Or for even like that type of situation. Um and then like, or the girls that I am really good friends with, they are like very far away. Very far away. Um and then like there's been moments where like I even tried to like what's it called? Like invite like a really good friend down, and it's like, and like I tried to invite a girl that I really am good friends with um down, and I tried to take her as a plus one to an event that I'm going to, but like one of the people in charge of said event was like, no, she can't come. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's like, and she respected the decision too. But it's almost, I don't know. Sometimes I think like this is a chud mindset. This is paranoia, not pronoia. But it's like it's almost it feels like the world is against me when it comes to girls. It really does. But that's just like incel shit. That's just like incel shit. Like that just like comes into my mind. Um, but it just gets into these fits where it's like I like a girl, and then it's like the girls that I like don't like me back, or the girls that like me I just have zero attraction to. um I guess it's I just I know the answer where, but it's like I don't want to do online dating. I don't want to do that. I guess I'm trying to, maybe like this new church I'm going to. I don't know. I'm very beginning, but we'll see. Um, but it's like I don't know. I don't know. But then I think about all this. I'm like, if it's meant to be, if that's what the Lord has in plan for my life, then it's gonna happen one way or another. And it's also just like I'm 20 years old right now. For all I know, my the love of my life, who the person who I'm gonna marry, I could meet them tomorrow, or I could meet them 20 years from now. I just don't know. I just don't know. And that's just the uncertainty of it all. And it's hard to be in that uncertainty, because you just want it so bad, or not even you want it so bad. Like, I would say in the past I've wanted a lot more, but like right now I'm kind of in the stage where it's like, I mean, I'm happy. You know, I don't feel lonely or anything like that. I've surrounded myself with like really good friends. Um, I'm very busy. Uh, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just an uncertainty, you know? But I don't know. And that's the whole fleetingness or fleetingliness, I don't know the word. I don't know. The fleetingness of life where it's like, I mean, you know, there's a point where like I had thoughts of being a serial killer, right? I mean, I would never be a serial killer, but I had thoughts of it, you know? It's just like, and then I look where I am now, you know? Or it's just like you go through these phases. And I've noticed also too, it's like the dark points in your life, like the times where like you were bed rotting, you know, in the dark and just like depressed. The times where you would just like sit in the shower and just like let the water hit you and just like be existential, you know, the times where you were suffering in your mind. I've noticed it's like I don't really remember those moments. And it's and it's two things. Well, first of all, you know, I was alone at that point, and so it's like there's no reason why I would remember it. I wouldn't even want to remember it. I don't know. But it's weird because it's like you take those moments with you subconsciously because it's just like when you're at a point so low, all you do is think and you're really just trying to figure everything out. And so it's almost like you're talking yourself through this. And it's like, do I still retain that wisdom that I learned from that period of time? Or did I just forget it all? I don't really know. But 32 minutes. The rain's hitting really hard. I gotta go make music with my boy. Yeah, that's about it. I'll catch you later.